Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new song from Aviana called Illuminate. It is taken off the album Corporation, which is out now, and I have been reacting to the singles off of this album for a while now. Joel had mentioned in the beginning of this that it would be an album that was really released sort of song by song for the most part, so I'm very excited to hear what is left of it. I've loved all of the singles off of this album. It's very hard to pick a favorite, but probably Obsession. Let me know in the comments which your favorite single has been. I will link the Illuminate music video I'll be using in this reaction in the description, as well as all of Aviana's social media and all of that good stuff. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
This is a wake-up call. Throw me up, just crack my head against the wall. Always means a few devils outside my door. The precious looking game gives me chills down my core. Burn it down, burn it all to the ground. Something that just can't chill. We'll say goodbye to crowd. Burn it down, burn it all to the ground. Nothing like I can ever lie. Burn it down, burn it all to the ground. Something that just can't and I will say goodbye to crowd. Burn it down, burn it down. Nothing like at the end of my days. You erase me. I can't stand a chance. Burn into the fucking ground. Set me apart. Yeah.
Starting off.
Everything I ever felt from the past.
With that talking voice,
Every bone in my body, leave me here to die. Break me down to set my soul on fire. Break me down to set my soul on fire. Rise me up the edge and watch me fall. I will watch the world burn. Mark the grain of your face. So burn it down, burn it all to the ground. Something left to scavenge. Burn it down, burn it all to the ground. Something left to rust there. Break me down and set my soul on fire. Break every bone in my body and leave me here to die.
very interesting leads going on.
Tell me always made me out. Crack my head against the wall.
Huh. Aviana, Illuminate. Let's discuss. So I think at this point there's an instrumental intro and outro that I haven't heard yet, but everything else I have heard and have the majority of it on the channel. Obsession would be my favorite track, I think, but I really like the more the more experimental type of feel in Translucent, and there's a lot of room on this album, I think, where it's sort of in between like, I think it does a great job, like tracks like Rage, this track, there are some really heavy and vocally showcasey tracks too when it comes to how I feel Joel's lows and such have improved. That's shown on this album for sure, but there's also stuff that I really enjoy more than that, like Obsession's chorus. That is probably the highlight of the album for me. I cannot get enough of that sound. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, no, I agree with My Past Self. That's my favorite. So having that sound on the same album as something like this comes off of, because this track, it felt like the space that I felt in it, at least, was reserved for a really great spot in the song. The ending, really, that last breakdown, because it felt like a very heavy track with multiple parts you could interpret as a breakdown. But as it got to the end of the song there, it really kind of let that space come into play, and I think that makes it sound almost heavier when it comes to like a complete pause before, dropping or whatever the case may be. I love stuff like that. That's why I like stuff that's more like ambient metalcore and such, and I think that space is really important and plays a part that is key for my listening taste, at least. So yeah, I love stuff like that almost as much as I love the chorus on Obsession, and I'll do maybe a more full review type of video on the album now that the full thing is out. I'll try to focus more just like on this track here, because it does feel like this shows some of the riffs that were like a little bit more, I don't even know the word that I would use for them. Like, there's a certain sound that's a bit more all over the place with the riffs on the singles that we've seen from this album, but this track at the same time feels like it taps a bit into that more rhythmic feel as well, very, even if just a bit too. Also very tasteful use of like the blast beats and such. I just really appreciate those details being sort of mixed in with this track, so it has its own sound, but at the same time it's like, all right, this fits with the rest of the album for sure. And I'm very stoked to listen to it in full now that the release is out, in order, the way it was intended to be listened to, and see how that feels. But Illuminate feels like a strong like last track to put it all together, because it does have, like I was saying, it has its own feel, but also sort of taps into some of the other stuff that we saw on the album. It is for sure just like a heavier track though. Overall, after my first listen, those are my thoughts. I will link the video I used. As I mentioned, Obsession's still going to be my favorite track, but this album will be on the playlist for me for quite some time. I love what the direction that Aviana has gone, especially after the changes that have been made in the band and whatnot. Joel came through and put out a fantastic album, it seems. So let me know what your favorite track was in the comments, what you think of the full album Corporation. I will link any Aviana support links, all of the social media, also the video for Illuminate in the description. Other than that, you can also find my link tree, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about in every single video. We have music-related conversation and channels, Last FM stats, listening parties, spoiler channels for new music, all sorts of stuff, as well as conversation unrelated to music as well. All sorts of channels, general, pets, gaming. If you're interested in coming and join, check out the community. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link, where I do post all music-related content. I post the chart on Fridays of what I listen to the most over the course of the week. I post my never-ending merch collection. I post, if I have any videos or pictures to share from shows I've been to recently, I'll post about that. So if that interests you at all, my handle on there is the same as my YouTube channel. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, it will be in that link tree in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.